Back in the new permission, it's a hayfield, about 20 acres. It was originally 5.5 fields, I think I said on the last video. So I'm going to work those field lines that basically were formerly fences. There are a couple of ponds and a spring not far away. Unfortunately, it's quite away from farms, and it's in a sort of area which is at least quarter of a mile to the church. But as I said, the church is interesting. It has a Roman aspect to it, and I'm very close to the Saxon shoreline. And with the Vanquish, which unfortunately isn't waterproof, so I was going to go out tomorrow, but because the forecast is rain, I'm taking advantage of this really lovely spring-like weather. So I'll get on with it, and I've got probably about 4.5 hours before it gets dark. And I'm near to the Saxon shoreline where the Vikings were said to have landed in the early part of the 10th century. Can't be certain they came here, obviously, but I would imagine that the idea was to basically sail in, then basically disembark and burn out the villages on the coast, while the boats possibly followed along the coast. So they'd probably move along the ridge. But it's a possibility, so that if it all went wrong, they could re-embark on the boats and make a hasty exit. Anyway, enough of that. I'll get on, and hopefully we'll find something interesting today. Well, the day was 10 or 11. My targeting was slightly off centre, but that's possibly because of the size of my coil. I've got the 12-inch coil. There's a bit of me as well. It's a tiny piece of lead. So first find of the day, tiny piece of lead. Right, second find is, or second target I should say, 15, 16, 70% on the depth stakes. See what that one is. Right, it was in the top half of that 10-inch deep clod. I think it's another piece of lead. No, maybe not. It's a great big... That's a big copper anyway. Oh, that's a pipe tamper. That is a pipe tamper. We were questioning, isn't it? We were questioning whether the last one was. Surely that's a pipe tamper. See if it's got the dots or the grooves on the back. You see that? Got a 27 or a 28 here. I start to get suspicious when the numbers are high like that. As I say, -9 to 40 on the Vanquish. So it's definitely in the non-ferrous, and it's not got any iron towing because I've got the iron switched on. So unless it's a large cartwheel penny, it's more than likely a bolt or something donut shaped or round, large. We'll give it a dig, see what we get. Let's just do this one in its entirety, if we can. We'll use up too much data. One day you won't have to worry about data. It's gone up to 35 now, which is telling me it's probably a large piece of copper. Right, let's get the pinpointer in there. Most unlikely to be silver. But by virtue of an object's shape, the number can go up. You see, if it's got lots of curves. If it's very thin, it can go down. That's because of eddy currents that ride on the surface, that they can't really spin up if there are irregularities, or if it's then One of those 50 caliber anti-aircraft bullet. So a lot of copper in there. I was saying in the last video, you could see the field divides, the fence that ran basically parallel to this one, to my left, to the left of that former pond in front of me in the light. And that's along there somewhere I found that Victorian threepence, silver threepence. Only bit of silver out of this field, but a good find nevertheless. Right, a really high 28. Quite close to the fence here. And as I say, there were parallel fences that ran down formerly on the 1841 map, past that, what was a pond over there. It's a nice symmetrical sound all the way on every axis. It's consistent, so hopefully it's something good. I reckon that's halfway through that clod somewhere, so maybe at about 5 inches. Let's take the bottom half away. Right. High number, so it's probably copper. The circularity of the object sends the number up to, as I explained just a minute ago, I think. Right, what is it? It's small. Oh, it's not a shotty, is it? Oh, it's a coin. But what coin? Is that, I think that's, is that a 1p? No, it's too thin for that. I think that's a rather nice farthing, isn't it? Yeah, quite a high number. Let's have a closer look at that. Right, hang on. Get the water on it. Which I haven't brought, I don't think. Have I? Right. I think that's going to turn out to be a farthing, like a Victorian farthing. But yeah, I haven't got the water with me at the moment. Right, you might be able to see where the sea came in there. Have a look at that over there. Lots of water lying around. But yeah, the coast would have been, in Saxon times, halfway between me and that lowest point in the distance there. Right, I had a signal that was 16 and it was sort of 50% iron tone, and my pinpointing was quite a way off, but it was basically about 5 inches down. I don't know if you can see in the side wall of this great hole I've dug, and it really didn't sound like a good signal, but it was worth pursuing because what I've got there looks, it's a very thin coin, but I can't see who that is. I think that's a George threepence or something, but it's silver, or it's either silver or silver wash. I think that's another threepence anyway, but I'm finding Georgian now, and if we start finding Georgian, then there's a possibility we might find a hammered coin. Real good signal here. Have a listen. That's a real pinger, 18 or 19. Not that deep. I'll just dig it, I think, and you'll see the whole process. I'll turn the Bluetooth back on. we'll divide that in half. Yeah, it's in the top half, so the shallow end of the 9 inches or so. It's got to be a halfpenny, hasn't it? 19 like that. Oh, it's a bullet. Oh, what a shame. Oh well, such is life. You're up, bullet. Oddly enough, nothing to write home about, but there's the hole with that piece of nothingness, and there's the just a foot to the side of it. There's a pewter button there. Tomback, circa 1800, I'd say. I'm kind of nearer to where I found that unidentified thing, either a bottle stopper, a pipe temper, or something else. Last trip. 19 or 20. Something quite shallow, something quite small. He says yeah, 18. Sounds okay. Right. Smaller the better when it's 18. That's my gold number. If it's small anyway. Higher if it's bigger. Right. Probably going to be a piece of lead. Or a bullet, maybe. What on earth? Tiniest fragment of something. Goes to show the size of the things that the old Vanquish finds, even with a 12-inch coil. So, no, that clearly wasn't it. That was a stone. Ah, that's it. What's that? I have no idea. Looks like a tooth made of some sort of copper alloy. I don't think it's decorated. I think it's just a random piece of copper alloy. I don't know. Clean it and see later on. Sun's slowly going down. I've got a really good signal here. 17, 18. 80% depth. There's the pond over there. A bit of dig. probably another button. Quite a few buttons in this field. That's the predominant feature, I think. Shows you that in the 18th century a lot of people worked in the fields basically. They get maxed out in about 1800. Right. Would it have gone for a minute? Slightly off centre. Right, let's get that out. Right, let's see what it is. Yeah, the population reached a peak in about 1800, late 1700s, people working in the fields, so to try to find things from times when the population was relatively Spartan is much harder, obviously. Oh, it's not a piece of machine, it's another eyelet. Another eyelet from a canvas sheet. Nice 21, 20, but it was a 14 nevertheless. I don't know if it's a coin or a shotty end. I think, let's hope it could be a button in fact. No, I think that's a coin. Yeah, that is a coin. Well, I can't see a shank anyway. Shanks are often worn out, but pretty sure that's a coin. Looks like another farthing to me. It's an old one. It's a George. I'm pretty sure I can see the. I'm pretty sure I can see the writing around the edge. It's not the thin stuff, the thin writing that you get with Victorian coins. Well, that's it, guys. Sun's set now. Found three coins, I think, in total. And I'm heading back now to the car, so not a bad day's detecting. I think the sort of general image of things is it's mainly Georgian activity in that field, but we'll look closer at those coins and see what we're looking at. But yeah, a good 4 hours out there, and just remind you, if you can, obviously it takes time to make these videos, just if you could like and subscribe, it means a lot really, given the amount of time that one has to spend doing all of this. So cool. I'm heading back now. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Right, so to round up, there are 40 finds roughly, 4.5 hours of digging. That's continuous. More interesting finds are on the right, lesser ones on the left. So you've got various bullets here, 3 coins, I'll post those up, 2, a couple of tomback buttons, a lead, could be a bottle stopper, bit of pottery, pick that up, and 20th century buckle, possibly Victorian. That I think is now a hook rather than a pipe tamper and a horse brass.